Hello, I'm Mark from Flynet, and this video shows an application that we've built for InBev, formerly known as Interbrew. InBev use an MRP application on their I-Series, which includes a function for measuring and auditing stock levels. Many unfriendly screens have to be accessed to generate the list required for checking. The aim of the Flynet project was to replace the host screens with a user-friendly web front end that accessed the live data on the I-Series. This was achieved using Flynet Viewer and the Microsoft .NET framework. I-Series security has to be maintained. This is achieved by prompting the user for their credentials before allowing them access to the web application. The username and password is checked against the I-Series. These are the stock checklists currently defined in the web application. As an admin user, we can modify the definition of these lists. These settings at the top let us define how the list shall be presented in the browser, and these percentages here allow us to define the data validation ranges in the form of a percentage. These settings are fed directly into the options on the I-Series screens. We shall now go ahead and generate the list. We are prompted to make sure we are generating the correct one, as this affects other sections of the MRP system on the I-Series. The Flynet Viewer application is now generating the list on the host. When we return to the main screen, we can now see that the keg materials list is now at the top and marked as generated. During the list generation, on the I-Series we can see that Flynet Viewer signed in and moved to the main menu. And then it moved on to the application and then entered details from the list definition. We can see red characters here. These are the values from our definition being placed into the screens. Here now we're actually seeing the list being generated, and then we move back to the sign-on screen and disconnect. So now we can edit the items on the list. The items on the list are now fetched from the I-Series. We can now see all the items to be checked. Here we can type in the value we physically measure. You can see it can be quite fiddly. To help speed things up, the administrator can allow users to click Same As. This enters the expected quantity as the reported quantity. If we were to type a value that is outside the percentage tolerance from the expected quantity as defined by the admin, the user is shown a warning. Note though that the user is not forced to change the value as it may be correct. This entry is within the tolerance, so we don't get a message. We can then send the values back to the I-Series. If we then go back and edit our list, we can see our values. We can look at what Flynet Viewer is doing on the host. We can see it go through the sign-on and onto the application. Now we can see the individual list items. These items are picked off and formatted for the browser. Flynet Viewer then signs off and disconnects. Back at the main page, we can now view a report generated by the I-Series. This is a simple copy of the spool file. However, this data can be picked off and turned into a PDF, display graphs, and tailored tables of data. So there we have it. A rich, easy-to-use web interface for a task that was confusing on the I-Series. The entire application was written within 2 weeks using Flynet Viewer and the Microsoft .NET framework.